right, let's go ahead and have a look at cylinder number 2. For this one, we are just finding the volume. And the formula here is given for the volume of a cylinder. So they tell you that the volume, I'm going to rewrite this just so it's a little bit larger. So the volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times the height. You also might see it written this way. So you might see V equals big B little h, and that big B represents the area of the base. So you want to be careful if you see it written like this because it's not volume equals base times the height. It is volume equals area of the base times the height. So that's that capital B. That means area of the base. And area of the base, we have two circles. So when we're talking area of the base, it means it's covering that whole area. So those are a few ways you might see the volume formula written. I tend to go with this. Just because then I'm not getting confused about, base or area of the base. So I really like the first one, but both will get you the same as long as you know that this is area of the base. So now that we have our formula, we can go ahead and start plugging in. So volume equals pi times the radius squared. Now our radius is given, right? So our radius is halfway across the circle. Diameter is the full way across the circle. Our radius is 2 squared, and then times the height. And the height, of course, is given here, and it is 3. All right, now all we have to do is plug this into the calculator. So not bad. The hardest part is finished. So the hardest part is just figuring out what do we plug in where. So you really need to know your vocabulary for this. So it's really important to know the difference between radius and diameter for these type of problems. All right, so we're going to put into our calculator pi parenthesis 2 end parenthesis squared. You want to scroll out of the exponent, and then you're going to do parenthesis 3 parenthesis enter. And it's going to give you an answer in terms of pi. So it's going to be 12 pi. So keep in mind that volume measures the space inside of the figure, which is a cylinder in this case. So if I were to pop the top off of that cylinder and fill it with water, this is how much water could I fit in my cylinder, or sand, or dirt, or whatever I might be filling the cylinder with. How much will fit? So imagine, you going somewhere and saying, hey, I need to get my cylinder filled with water or gasoline or whatever it is. And the person says, oh, okay, well, how much do you need? Oh, well, I need 12 pi centimeters. Doesn't make sense? No. So I always like to put it in the decimal form. And again, all you have to do to put this in the decimal form, in your calculator, if you're using a TI-34, it's going to give you 12 pi. All you have to do is hit the double arrow and then enter, and it is going to give you, if we round to the nearest hundredth, it's going to be 37.70, but it's going to give you 37.699111184. Again, we went around to the nearest hundredth, so it's going to be 37.70 centimeters. And since it's volume, we want to make sure it's cubed. So remember, you can kind of remember that because a cylinder is a three-dimensional figure, so it's like a Pringles can. And a three-dimensional figure, we're going to label it with a 3 or a cubed symbol. So that might be a good way of remembering. All right, and that is our volume for this one. Really, I should change my equals sign to an approximately equals sign because it's not exact, right? And we're all about precision in math. So that is all for number 2. Good job getting through this. And again, make sure if you have questions about this that you're asking, I can definitely help you on Google Meets.